Good afternoon and welcome to this second webinar on the Primary Toolkit, Hear My Voice, delivered by the ISM Trust. Before we begin, there are just a few technical points. Hopefully you can see us, we can't see you, and you should also be able to see the PowerPoint displayed on your screen. You should also be able to hear us, but we can't hear you. And if you experience any technical difficulties such as sound or quality issues, please just let us know by email and we will make attempts to resolve the issue as we go along. This webinar is being recorded and will be available to view on the ISM's website, ism.org.org/webinars. So welcome to today's webinar. We've called it Hear My Voice. It's something we both feel is very, very important throughout primary education, before and after primary education too. So I'm Ally Daubney and I put the Primary Toolkit together, and I'm delighted today to be with Shelly.
Hello everyone.
The toolkit is on the ISM website. We've put some links up for you to be able to find it here at the ISM Trust at www.ismtrust.resources/primary-toolkit. Oh, there you go. I could have helped myself out there, couldn't I? Putting it on the screen. And I'm going to just pass over to Shelly to say just a little bit about the Sing Up. Some of you may know and some of you may not.
So Ally's going to tell you a bit more about the Primary Toolkit, but there's lots of our resources available in the Primary Toolkit, particularly in Chapter 2. So you can actually, it tells you there, singup.org/primary music toolkit. So you can get the resources from today's session by signing up for free as a friend of Sing Up. So just assuming that you don't know anything about Sing Up is an organisation that really what we want to do is put the singing at the heart of primary school children's lives in schools. So we produce a lot of resources, songs, teaching resources, assembly plans, music curriculum tools, but lots of advice and guidance about helping teachers do more singing in their schools. And really that's exactly what we're about, and that's why I'm here today.
Well, thank you for joining me. So the toolkit has got 6 interlinking parts. This is the second of the webinars, and today we're going to be thinking about singing and vocal work, as Shelly said, in conjunction with Sing Up, which is how this was put together. Here is the other components of the primary toolkit. And I just wanted to say something about why singing is positioned where it is, because the last time we talked a little bit about an introduction to the primary music and the primary classroom, and what music might be and what it could be, and some things about using instruments. But actually, the reason singing is part 2, after that kind of philosophical underpinning and the values around music, is because to me, singing and vocal work are right at the core of musical learning. So that's why it takes this part.
And of course the benefits of singing are huge as well. So, and they're not just musical ones, which we'll come on to a moment. So there's the physical, which is all about the respiratory, the cardiac, the neurological. There's the psychological benefits of singing that you get from the intra and interpersonal skills that you develop. The social impact of singing and developing communities and singing along with other people. There's lots of research around how singing can kind of calm the heartbeat and have everybody singing with the same sense of pulse. The educational, so you can sing across the curriculum, developing speech and language, all kinds of things there, singing in topics, learning about the world around us and different communities and cultures. And then, of course, the musical ones, and there's lots of musical benefits. So Professor Graham Welsh from the IOE and UCL, when we were a funded programme, and when we were government funded, he did a big piece of research with his team about the benefits of singing. And if you go and have a look at our website, you can read all about them in detail, but I'm just giving you a very kind of a smattering here. But the musical benefits are huge because our voice is in our body, our brain is in our body, which is the musical computer, and our ear. So when we sing, it joins up those 3 things. So singing is a very immediate thing that everybody can do straight away. And when we sing, we experience music from the inside. We experience the pitch, the structure, the harmony. All of those things happen when we're singing. So it happens in our body. So it's very immediate.
And I think some of the things we're talking about today around singing relate to it not just being something that you do for education and not just something that you do in school or through school. You know, it's cradle to grave, and people sing throughout their lives. They use their voices in different ways, as you know, in all the different things you've been talking about. What we're going to just have a quick look at is, is singing in the national curriculum? Yes, it is. So what we've got here is Wordle for putting. So if I took the national curriculum, I took out all the little words. I was on hold to the electricity board, I think, when I did this, and just left in the kind of main words. And obviously, the bigger the word, the more time it appears in the national curriculum. And the joyous thing about this is people often say, "Oh, I'm really not quite sure. You know, you've got a few bullet points. Is it hierarchical? Do I have to only worry about the bullet points? Where does composing appear and where does singing appear?" But you can see here that the main thing is built around musical understanding through, joyously, all of these kind of active things, of which voices and singing are both mentioned. But of course, these feed into us performing. So sometimes, our own music or other people's music, creating our own music, composing, playing, playing around the word play, not just to play somebody else's music, but kind of playing around. So voices and singing all leading into developing musical understanding and kind of holistically in there, but you can see they're really, really integral to what the national curriculum is asking for. So we both believe, we've had many long conversations on this, haven't we, about the importance of an inclusive musical community. And what we're talking about there is that the idea of singing being for everybody, but the thing is that's not often or sometimes it isn't the case where it's modelled that everyone can sing and singing is for everyone. And we both fundamentally believe that if children don't see their teachers singing regularly and joining in and being fully involved, then it's very difficult to convince them that actually singing is for everybody. And I don't know about you, but I've certainly seen occasions before where you've got assembly and the adults are sitting at the end, stony faced, staring at the wall, going, "Please do not make me sing," with their arms folded, and it doesn't tell the picture. The body language doesn't tell the picture of music is for everybody. So we feel it's absolutely important that we add our own voices, joining in, modelling, not just telling children to sing, but actually singing with them and what that means. So I would say actually a little story about a school in Brighton that has singing on a Friday morning, and the school invites everybody in just a few minutes before school starts. So that's mums, dads, grannies, buggies, cleaners, anybody who happens to be working in the school and visiting the school. And they have built up a songbook over time, actually, or two songbooks, songs for a rainy day and songs for a sunny day. And the whole community comes in and just has a sing together. And there are more children come to school on that day than any other day of the week. I'm sure that's just by the by. But that for me is very much part of building a musical community. So come on, let's sing. This is something I set my trainee teachers at the University of Sussex to do. Don't know whether they do or not, but definitely they get more confident with singing as the year goes by. So I ask them to sing a song out loud every day, because I think, being able to sing in your own space is sometimes, for some teachers, a way into them being able to use their voice in the space with children. So have fun exploring your voices. Try changing it. Sing softly. Sing loud. Sing through your nose. Sing like a chorister. I've got a bit of a sore throat today, so I can't do the opera diva, but...
Sing the opera diva?
Yeah. Sing in different spaces. Try out different acoustics, and listen to the kind of resonance of your voice and have fun just trying it out. It always kind of makes me laugh that I think it's the film Frozen, where the Disney princess as a child and as an adult was sung by the same person, and the way she had to explore her voices to do that.
We were talking a little bit about, some people are frightened to use their voice in front of the classroom. Yes. And I've led so many training sessions with teachers where they say, "Oh, God, my husband tells me to shut up when I sing and I sound like a badger with pneumonia," or whatever. Somebody has actually said that to me. But I think the thing is, though, that your pupils love you as their teacher, and they will love you with your voice as well. And actually, just to use your voice with them, shut the door. It's your pupils in the room. A lot of people will say as well, actually, I wouldn't sing for you, but I will sing with my children, for my children, because they really value it. And I think there's something about, if they can see you sing and see you form the words, they learn songs so much better.
And there's such a big relationship there with poetry and the way that you speak and the sing-song kind of nature of how you say things. And, if you're feeling a little bit underconfident, think about, first of all, just going in with the kind of words and trying to communicate through different ways, through poems and that kind of thing, before you then get into what you might call singing, because your voice is all automatically going up and down. There's a lot of freedom to try things out. So how do you get started then, Shelley?
Well, I suppose the ideal that we've talked about is getting everybody to enjoy themselves so that they want to join in.
Absolutely.
So the first thing is probably finding a bunch of songs that people feel comfortable singing. And I think that starting with songs that lots and lots and lots of people know.
And there definitely are those songs.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than, obviously Happy Birthday, but there are so many community songs, whether that be old pop songs, new pop songs, traditional songs, football songs, anything. It's just finding things that people are comfortable with. Then I've put sing with an unforced sound, because I'm just thinking about vocal health a little bit. We don't want lots of shouting and stuff. We don't want people to damage their voices, but just to sing naturally and not worry too much about, whether you sound, like an X Factor singer or, just to sing with a natural sound. And getting ideas for developing a repertoire for the school. So having a secret ballot where you ask, I've put on the slide, pupils, but teachers as well. Ask them what they like to sing, and I think the answers will surprise you.
And I think if you went wider than the teachers and asked the teaching, non-teaching assistants and other people in the school, a nice way to do this is just to give people little scrap pieces of paper and just ask them to write it on there, screw it up, and throw it into somewhere. It's just something quite cathartic. I've got often used in my courses here. People like
I've seen you do that. Yeah. It felt really great. I'm going to throw my idea in there.
It's great just to rip them up as well. Trust me.
I think another important one is to sing regularly, at least every day. And we can talk about where the opportunities are, but just to find 3 minutes to sing a song, or a little bit longer, but actually try and do some singing every day with your
And there's
class.
a little challenge for you to start off with today, because, what's the first point in tomorrow when you go into your classroom where you can do some singing?
Maybe the first thing you do in the morning is a wake up, shake up. Maybe you sing something when you're sat at circle time or on the carpet. Maybe you sing, there's loads of little routine songs. There's a school in Seton Sluice Infant School, which Amanda, the head teacher there, has written a bunch of routine songs. And honestly, it is a joy. The atmosphere in the place is a joy. They go out, the bell rings at playtime, somebody sings, lining up, 1, 2, 3, and suddenly all the kids just run, and then they join in with the song, and they walk in line singing this song. I mean, it's just amazing.
And similarly, at Quiddick Primary School, I went to visit there with a sing-up project quite a few years ago now, but they had a wake up, shake up in this tiny village, and they used to just blare it out across the village. Just as school was starting in the morning, and you could see children who were just slightly late going, come on, I want to run, because it's a community thing and everybody's starting, so you start it off as you mean to continue. So there's something for you for tomorrow morning.
Then another thing to think about tonight when you're driving home. If you're not already home, think about it. If you're well, you never know, somebody could have been working at home,
maybe.
Think about where those opportunities are in your week and in your school year. Having some moments to put some singing to gives you things to work towards. It really surprises me that some schools may never have done a concert, and I think that that's true. What about in the future that you have every class prepare their own song and put it on in a concert? Or prepare something for a group of staff to sing to their pupils. Some really nice ideas. And so once you've got all these ideas in your secret ballot, develop a bank of songs for everybody in your school to sing and join in with. I do think there has to be a bit of a push from the senior management team that says, come on, everybody has to sing. I
think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier about modelling what it is that you want, and trying to get everybody involved. And I have seen some great things. For example, Jackie Schneider's Christmas videos every year.
Where she
films the staff, all of the staff, getting involved and singing. And I think that really, it's a joy for us to watch them. Imagine how it is if you're the kids who are being taught by them. So lots of things there.
And taking part in the Christmas video and having it shot. So next we're going to talk about choosing repertoire. So we've already mentioned a combination of teacher and pupil choices. Just a word of caution there. Obviously, you're trying to develop a bank of resources for the school. You do have to be a little bit mindful about the words of songs and making sure that they're appropriate. There's a lot of stuff out there that you think, our rule of thumb is, if you went to a concert and the children are singing in front of their parents and stuff, would you feel comfortable, listening of that song? So just think about the words a little bit. If they're pop songs, even though they might not have bad language and they might have kind of very adult themes, so a little bit of thought goes into that. On the Sing Up Song Bank, we have a hugely diverse range of songs. We've got 850 plus songs, because we think it's really important to sing songs from different times and places, from different cultures and different styles, from traditional through to kind of copyright pop songs. And a kind of a rich diet of songs is really, really important to help us learn about the world, to understand each other, to develop the vocal skills, to learn about musical styles. There's so many reasons why to sing a range of songs.
I think one of the things I really like about the Sing Up Song Bank as well, though, is the tagging that you've got on the different songs and the ways that you can know kind of what you want, but not quite, and you can go in and search around and see what's there.
Yeah, so you can search. I mean, if you know the name of the song you want, you can look for it. But if you think, oh, I just want something for a topic on the Romans, we've got some tags that are topic based. So ancient history, modern history, animals, living things, stuff like that. You can also search by subject. One of the tags I find most helpful is song type. So if I'm looking for a round very quickly, or an action song, or something for assembly, or a lullaby even, we try to tag them by types of songs, or sea shanty. I don't imagine there's many times that you want a sea shanty necessarily, but you might be doing a topic on pirates.
Well, you never know.
You never know. So you can search by lots of different ways.
Okay.
Once you've kind of found the song that you're looking for, go in and into the song detail page. So you should be able to see on your screen here a screenshot of Reach Out, I'll Be There. So this is what it looks like when you're on one of our song pages, and you can see there's a player and there's a list of resources, and across the bottom it says About, Scores, Teaching Guides. So the teaching guides are notes that say about the song, ideal for, it's in this key, this is the time signature. It gives you a sense of how hard it is, what style it's in, but then it tells you, before you begin this song, think about X, Y, Z. It says, to warm up this song, you might want to do this, that, or the other. Here's some ideas for teaching and rehearsing and developing it. Then you can click on the button that says lyrics and whiteboard and see the words and play the music at the same time. Then in the list of audio tracks, you can see the top one is a performance track. That's a demonstration, so you can play to your pupils. We tried really hard to get lots of performances with children singing, so you can hear how it sounds on children's voices.
Amazing.
Some of them are with adults as well. We worked really hard to get the keys right so that they sit in comfortable ranges for pupils, which is why we kind of give you some age guidance about who might sing this song. So for instance, here it says, for this song, Reach Out 7+ effectively. So some of them might be older, some of them might be younger, so it might depend on the number of words, how difficult it is, the key it's in.
Yep.
Then if you're one of the singers who are still worrying a little bit about using their own voice, we've got echo tracks, so that'll do the rote teaching for you. It'll sing a phrase, la 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 la, it'll go la 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 la, thank you, ping, and then there'll be a space for the children to sing it back.
On cue.
The rehearsal tracks are for more complex songs that might be in 2 or 3 part harmony, and that has one of the harmony parts raised up in the mix and the tune a bit lower, so you can hear and experience what it feels like to sing your part alongside the tune. And then you can download the scores as well, so if you're a piano player and you want to accompany it live rather than use a backing track, you can do that too. So that is all kind of part of a song bundle. So not all songs would have everything. So for instance, if it's an early years song, it's not going to have rehearsal tracks. Yeah. So.
And is this one of the songs that's available on the Friends membership?
That isn't, but the song I'm going to teach you later is.
Oh,
but there's some really good songs on there. There's Mercy by Duffy. There's an arrangement of that, and there's a warm-up, shake-up song called Shake My Sillies Out. There's
Fantastic.
10 free songs available to Friends, so it's definitely worth doing.
Good. So we're going to talk a little bit about warm-ups. What makes a good warm-up?
Okay, so we've got a great resource of which is inside the Primary Teacher Toolkit.
We're very grateful for this because actually it was something that was behind the paywall before.
Yes.
And Sing Up have very kindly given the ISM Toolkit the opportunity to use these videos, which is fantastic. Thank you.
Well, this resource is called, the bigger resource is called Inside the Voice, and the chapter that you've got is called Warm Up Theory and Practice, and it's written by Stuart Barnes and Everett Williams, who are vocal experts, really proper singing teacher experts that know about how the voice works. So they take you through that. And anyway, so to summarize, their advice is that there are multiple purposes to a warm-up. And you want to try and include a little bit of everything if you can. So the first one's around concentration and focus and getting everybody thinking and concentrating on the session. One's about vocal health and taking care of your voice. One's about technique, so improving your singing so that you can sing well. And if you improve your technique, you're going to get lots of improved singing quality. But of course, there's the musical benefits as well of a warm-up. Now, I wanted to put these up here because it is a bit bamboozling when you see kind of vocal vocabulary sometimes.
Oh, yes. I think sometimes that's what puts people off.
Absolutely.
You know, sometimes I've had primary school teachers come up with a unit of work or a scheme of work, and they've gone, oh, what's this? Or what's that? And actually that's the, I think I'll teach RE today, points. You know.
Yes, the tessiture of this song is out. And it's really, it's quite... it can exclude people. So
definitely. So
I wanted to just tell you briefly. The videos are online, so you can go and watch those at your heart's content and really get a thorough understanding. But just to summarise what these 6 vocal areas are around. So wake up in balancing and centering the body is all about getting rid of tension. Okay, fantastic. So rolling the shoulders, relaxing the neck, jogging on the spot, all of those kinds of things.
Right.
Breathing, so obviously we all breathe every day and we're fine with that, but breathing for singing, you might want to just achieve a little bit more than the usual in out. So it's all about just learning about your diaphragm and getting air from your lower abdomen. Okay. And that's good fun. And kids, it's great. You could do a biology lesson just around breathing and the lungs, so it's really good to build into science lessons. Releasing the throat is the vocal equivalent of number 1. So it's all about getting rid of tension and constriction in your throat. And there's some activities to try there. The vocal folds is another name for your vocal cords. So some gentle exercises to warm them up. Okay. Exploring resonance sounds very fancy, but that is effectively, it is very fancy. It's finding different ways of making really nice resonating sounds. So you might whack, whack, whack. So a very, very nasally sound, and it'll look at a breathy sound, and it'll look at getting a nice clear sound. Okay. And then clarifying articulation. The articulation. Yeah, is all about kind of moving your tongue. Yes. And rather than your jaw, because if you sing with your jaw, you build up lots of tension, and you can kind of just create strain and stuff. So simply put, body, breath, throat, inside the throat, kind of using all the resonating spaces that you've got, and then like the words. Yeah, and tension in your jaw. So that's what they're all about. So we've got a little bit of the video here, but hopefully it's going to play for us. So this is we're only going to play just a very opening of one of the videos. This one here, clarifying articulation, in fact. Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to part 6 of Inside the Voices warm-ups. In this section, we'll be looking at clarifying articulation. And we do this by making In this section, we'll be looking at clarifying articulation. We do this by making sure that the jaw is nice and loose, and that the primary articulation work is being done with the tongue, not the jaw.
Fingers in front of your ears, and just right in front, not under your chin here, in front of your ears, just to feel your jaw, and just go, now go wide open. Right,
she looks quite scary. She does.
Step up now.
Okay, so you can see that each of the videos on here goes through the same kind of idea. He explains a little bit about what's coming up, and then it actually takes you through exercises, but you can see what happens as well.
It's children doing the exercises as well, so you get a sense of, if you're going to do that with your children, how they might respond. So that's really, really helpful.
So one thing I forgot to say earlier is if you want to ask questions, we've got a bit of time at the end. That we can pick some up. You don't have to wait until the end before you write your questions. You can ask the questions as we go along. Just things you might think of as we go along. But we're going to do a little bit of we're joining in with some songs, and we've got a friend today from the ISM who's going to join us as well.
So it's really important because we want you to do some singing tomorrow, that you've got something to actually do tomorrow. So we're going to kind of demonstrate a warm-up. Now, obviously, we're not in the most ideal setting for doing this warm-up, which is called rubber chicken. But I'll explain to you that if you're going to do it in your classroom, 1, you need to stand up. 2, your children need a bit of space either side, you know, kind of do that. Let's swing around if I've got space for my arms. And it's going to involve you shaking your right arm, your left arm, your right leg, your left leg. And you're going to count from 8 down to 1. So actually, no, it's going to be counting 1 up to 8.
Okay.
So I'll just demonstrate first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. Left arm, right leg, left leg.
Okay.
If you're standing up, you do it, kind of really stretch your arm out and stretch your leg out. If you've got, you might just want, with very young children, if they're prone to falling over, so I would probably think that, you know, you're thinking 5 upwards rather than younger than 5 for this one. So together, should we try and keep a nice steady pulse? Off we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Left arm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right leg.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Left leg.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to do it again. This time 6, and off we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Then 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, then 2.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Then 1, 1, 1, 1. And when you get to the end, you have to touch the ground, jump as high in the air as you can with your arms as well, and go rubber chicken! Yeah, okay, so it's a really fun warm-up. It gets the breath going. In fact, you'll be out of breath if you do it like properly up to speed.
Okay.
You can then do it a little bit faster, a little bit faster. Now, if you want to make a musical point, make sure that pupils keep a steady beat. So once you've explained it and they know what to do, we did it kind of with a steady beat there. You might also want to use it to do different numbers of beats in a bar. So imagine that let's say we're going to do odd numbers. So we're 7, 5, 3, and 1.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. Touch the ground.
Rubber chicken!
Okay. So that's very good fun. If you're a pianist, you can accompany that and play.
Yes.
Just bust some chords underneath.
How
So that's a really good warm-up.
You can even just bust one chord.
You could.
You could, as much or as little as you want. And that's the thing we're really trying to get across today, is that with a lot of the material, you can make so much out of it musically.
Mm-hmm.
So think about what's the musical learning that you want that's underpinning what you're trying to do. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, I think.
Absolutely. So here we're talking pulse. We're talking about ensemble and doing it together.
Yes.
Eye contact, making sure that pupils are looking at you. Off we go and 1, 2. All of those kind of cues, they're all musical cues that they're learning. So at the end of that, let's just roll our shoulders and forwards. Dave Camlin does a lovely thing. He says, put your shoulders in your back pocket. I love that.
Aww.
And then in your front pockets, and then just give them a wiggle. Gently roll your neck. These are all video on the videos.
Excellent.
Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just because you might be out of breath if you've done that, So next we're going to work on the vocal folds. So this is called a siren, and it involves saying the word ng. So if you just say for me, sing.
Sing.
Then ing.
Ing.
Then ng.
Ing.
And we're going to slide with the least amount of effort, a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up. The whole point is to be very gradual, stretching your range like an elastic band and then coming back and then stretching it a bit further, coming back. And if the sound drops out, so Ali's got a really poorly throat because she's recovering from 10 days of flu, you'll notice, not on Ali, but on your own voice as well, that little parts of your voice drop out. So where you feel that they drop out, just go gently back over it. And to be honest, it tends to be the highest and the lowest of your register. So you just need to breathe wherever you need to breathe.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Paintbrush?
Yeah. I'll come to that first. So just breathe in when you need to breathe. Off we go. You have to do that for about 30 seconds. You don't want people to be doing the same pitch. Everybody should be in their own little private space.
Good.
vocally. Magic paintbrush.
Yes, the magic paintbrush. What I discovered with this is that if you have a paintbrush in your hand, it helps you to understand the relationship between the sound and the kind of physical space, which is, of course, something that you need to recognise when you start reading music. So if you put your paintbrush in your hand, and you'll notice that as you go up, your paintbrush goes up, and as you come down, your paintbrush comes down again. So you can just paint your way through. Now, when you're then looking at musical shapes, you've got an idea about
absolutely
how you're singing
and connecting when it's going higher and when it's getting lower.
And it's very smooth. What happened if I was jumping around? You know?
Yeah. Lovely.
So
Just give that one more
ways.
time then, so just breathe. Where we need to, and sometimes Lynn Marsh tells people to use your eyebrows, and it does. If you use your eyebrows, it does help you get higher. Let's give it a go. And this is the point that if you're sitting in a public space watching this webinar and you join in with us, people walk past and go, what are they doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Oh, hopefully they're joining you with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I hope
great.
so.
Yep.
This is a great warm-up for a car every morning, because we're going to talk about, we've briefly spoken about vocal health, but your vocal health as a practitioner, you're a professional voice user as a teacher, and you use your voice every day for 6 hours a day, and then you use it for quiet talking, you use it for loud talking in the playground, or for, you know, controlling lots of people in PE, or if there's lots of background noise.
Plenty of clear fluids. It's water.
Completely. Sip water all day, have a bottle of water at your desk. Try not to talk for extended periods of time. Try not to overuse your voice or to whisper too much. But a siren in the car on the way to work, or in the shower if you don't drive, then that's a great way to start.
Shouting rubber chicken might be a little bit excessive on the motorway, but that one works.
And then the last thing that we're going to look at here is about creating your own warm-up. So it's a really, really great thing to do. If you're starting to teach songs, and we want you to start to teach some songs in your classroom, is to look at it and think, okay, with this song, what do I think is going to be the hardest bit to teach? And take that bit out and create a warm-up with it.
Okay.
And it might be something to do with the words, it might be something to do with the rhythm, it might be something to do with the tune, it might be the language that it's in, or the vowel sounds, or anything like that.
Pronunciation of the words,
absolutely,
anything like that.
So we're going to learn a song, Oleo, done as a warm-up. Now, the reason why I've picked this one is it is an example of a call and response song, but it uses echo call and response and question and answer call and response, and it sometimes confuses people. Okay. So the first game is to figure out the difference between the question and answer and the echo, and so you can play a bit like a game a bit like Simon Says. So for instance, the question and answer is, my question is, oh la, and there's a rest of
la la,
and you're going to say oh la la, which is your answer. Oh la,
oh la la,
oh la,
oh la la,
oh la,
oh la la,
oh la,
oh la la.
I hope you were joining in at home. Let's just do it twice so that you join in. Oh la,
oh la la,
oh la,
oh la la.
Okay, so from now on, anything else I say, however, is an echo, and you have to copy me exactly. And I'm going to try and catch you out.
Oh dear, it won't be difficult. Here we go.
Oleo,
oleo,
ola,
oh la la,
oleo,
oleo,
ola,
oh la la,
oleo,
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 olai,
olai,
ola,
ola, oh la la.
It's
laugh. I told you.
No laughing. That's a really, really good game to play, yeah. And and kids love playing it like that. Brilliant. And you can decide, you know, whether somebody's out or not. You don't necessarily have to make anybody be out. So, and then I'm going to turn that into a bit of a warm up. So imagine that we can't do it here because we can't stand up, but I'm doing a bit of a side step, and you might want to do a gentle offbeat tap. I don't know if this sound is coming through on the microphone.
Quite loud.
Okay, I won't do that. I'll just click. So I just want you to echo me apart from when I go oh la la, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You remember, I'll give you a nod, I'll remind you. Oleo,
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 oleo.
I'm doing all these funny voices to warm the voice up, but also to get you to really listen and to copy me exactly as you can. Olai,
olai,
olai, lai, le, oh.
Olai, le, oh.
Olai,
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 olai, lai, leo.
Oh la le oh.
Oh la le, oh la la.
Oh la le oh la la.
Oh la, think. Oh la la, oh la.
Oh la la.
Oh la le, oh la la.
Oh la le oh la la.
Oh la le, oh la la.
Oh la le oh la la.
Oh la.
Oh la la.
Oh la.
Oh la la.
Okay, brilliant. So we've pretty much, don't lose that pulse, keep that pulse going. We've learned the entire song structure. Yeah, but what we haven't learned yet is the tune. So we've learned the phrasing, we've learned the structure, we've learned all the words.
Leo,
Leo, oh Leo,
oh Leo.
Do you know what? I'm going to slow it down ever so slightly, just so that you can hear the tune. Oh Leo,
oh Leo,
oh Leo,
oh Leo,
oh la le, oh la la,
oh la le oh la la,
oh la le, oh la la,
oh la le oh la la.
And then when we get to the question and answer, I sing oh la, and you sing oh la la, oh la, you sing
oh la la,
oh Leo,
oh Leo,
oh Leo,
oh Leo,
oh la le, oh la la,
oh la le oh la la,
oh la le, oh la la,
oh la le oh la la,
oh la,
oh la la,
oh la.
oh la la.
Fantastic. And I could keep going up, oh Leo, yeah. And so we're warming up the whole of our voice. We've done lots of listening, etc.
Fantastic.
So, whole song in a warm up.
Okay, and lots of musical things in there too, which is what this is talking about, really.
Absolutely. I mean, we could unpick what we think was going on in Leo.
All sorts of things. I mean, let's talk about what we did at the very beginning. So we've got the things about call and response, and then we've got call and echo. We've got improving the pulse. You slowed it down. We tried to stay with you. We tried very hard, didn't we, friend from the ISM?
Mm-hmm.
We've got
did a great job.
The rhythmic skills. Yeah, we were talking earlier actually about how you can take very small bits of music and just turn them into something that's bigger, because we've also got the idea of now we could think about instruments. And if you want to learn an instrument, what's often missing is you go, right, here's an instrument, here's the music. Well, there's often problems with that, because if we put a piece of music up in front of one of these, then where are you looking? Are you looking at this, or are you looking at this? You don't know what it sounds like. So to try and get it into your head to start with, there's quite a complicated rhythm in one of those phrases. Can you just clap that rhythm? And that's quite difficult. But if you've got
you put it with the words,
oh
la le, oh la la,
oh la le, oh la la.
People forget that the words of a song is actually the rhythm.
Absolutely.
All those syllables that are put together is the rhythm.
Yeah.
And so when you've got, we were doing that pulse, yeah. Oh Leo, oh Leo, oh Leo, oh Leo, oh la le, oh la la. Clapping and saying those words whilst sidestepping and keeping a pulse is really sophisticated music making.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's not on the beat. It's very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rhythms and all sorts of things going on. So when you're trying to learn a musical instrument, actually one of the things is trying to get into your head what it actually sounds like and then transferring it to an instrument. So if you took oh Leo, see, now we've swapped. Right. And you have to think about the shapes. You go back to your paintbrush. Is that going up or down? Oh, Leo. Mm-hmm. Your eyebrows going down. Is your paintbrush going
I've jumped
down?
ahead. I think Ali was just going to show you that it's kind of using your ear as well to find out what it is. Because pupils probably would just play lots of notes, and you could sing, can you find this note? Just experiment. See if you can find that note. Ole, then what happens next? Where does it go? Does it go up?
And that's the thing about relating it back to your paintbrush and where's it going, and thinking about musical shapes. With this material, you could have half the class singing, you could have half the class playing, you could have little musical interludes. Why not get them, to have the choice? What's your introduction going to be at the beginning, for example? Take some ideas. Somebody might want a little wizard. And then we're going to go. What's the ending going to be? Get a big piece of paper, write it down. Mm-hmm. You can really play with the material and make so much out of it. Thinking about, how it moves and arrangements and all of those kinds of things.
Mm. And we're going to do something more with Oleo in a minute. Are we okay for time?
Yep, let's do that.
And so there's a little song like 1, 1, 2, 1, which just involves you going 1, 1, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we'll just stop it there for now, but it goes all the way up to 8.
Mm-hmm.
You can sing it in a round. You can have one group going forwards and one group going backwards.
Why don't we give that a go?
Okay, you want to go for 1 and I'll go for 8?
2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Did I jump a note? I think I might have actually
Exactly.
added in an extra note.
But then what are you learning there? You're learning about shape and you're learning about
Scales.
scales and contrary motion and all of these things.
If you put in your thinking voice the second note and the fourth, and what that means is just sing it, but silently in your head. It's the equivalent of reading in your head, but with a pitch.
So we three have a go at that?
So starting on 1, so 2 is going to be silent. 1,
1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1.
And then we've got 3 notes that make a chord.
1,
3, 5. Actually, you're going to be.
I'm going to be 3.
You're in
charge.
So 1,
3,
5. So let's sing Oleo in harmony. People worry about getting into harmony, but if you've got 1 and 3 and 5 with this song, you can harmonize it instantly. So when I sing Oleo,
Oleo,
or you might sing Oleo or Oleo. So you pick one note and you stay on that note. So for instance, just to give an example, Oleo, 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 and just stay on your note. And then even when you get to the oh la 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 oh la la, just stay on one of the notes. Oh la 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 oh la la, or oh la 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 oh la la, or oh la 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 oh la la. Should we just sing it once to get the idea?
Okay.
Oleo, 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 oh la 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 oh la la, 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 oh la. Oh la la, oh la, oh la la.
Fantastic.
And you could. This is where the glockenspiel could be great because you could play those in harmony.
Yeah, and it helps you build up the idea of what chords are, and it also just, like you say, it's a very simple way into part singing that's not just rounds.
Yeah.
So it makes you think about pitching in different ways. So we haven't got loads of time left, but we can talk a little bit about doodling with your voice and the idea of playing with your voice. For example, earlier we were making well, let's just warm our voices up. Take your paintbrush.
Sorry, I'm just being
And then you can fill it in. You can fill in your painting. You can take your paintbrush.
You could create a Dr. Dot.
Now the thing is, what you're trying to do is get people to actually take a creative risk, and that's quite difficult. But if you're sitting in your own space and you're doing something yourself, and you don't feel like everybody's watching you because they're all doing their own thing, that's a really, really good thing to do. So that's one thing about doodling. Another thing is that I suppose for me, often we say go and compose. And what does that mean? Well, we talked a little bit last time about language in the first webinar, and it's something we're coming on to in the third one. But the idea of composing is actually quite scary, whereas doodling with sound, I think, is a lot kind of nicer and easier way into it. But often children have ideas in their head and they can't get them out onto an instrument. So, there's a natural kind of middleman there, which is the voice. What's the idea that's in your head? What's that going to look like? Okay, let's see if we can find it. So trying to use the voice to get different things out. Actually the third webinar, which is I think in the next term, is going to be on doodling and composing and all those kinds of things. So today is just a kind of little kind of idea to get into that before we move on. I suppose one of the other things we wanted to talk about is how you organise your room and your space, because, singing has so many different purposes, and sometimes it's appropriate to kind of shift the room around to different ways to sing, and other times they might just be, if it's at the end of the day and you're just going point to the window, point to the window, point to the door, you don't want people standing, necessarily as a choir or in a circle. That's the space that they're kind of singing in, and it's very impromptu. But there are other reasons and times in which you sing, and which kind of helped by having a critical mass of people either standing together or standing in a circle. But again, some children find standing in a circle really difficult. So making little horseshoes within the circle so that they don't feel that everybody's watching them. Some other things on room layouts that you might want to just think about. You know, sitting behind your desk and singing can be really exposing. So it kind of depends on what's the singing, what's the purpose. And I think I always say this in pretty much everything I run. I think that music teachers are basically furniture removers. It's what you sign up for when you sign your contract, you know, because the more you move your furniture around and use your space flexibly, the better. So we're going to have a look at some ways in, because some people are really confident to go and use singing and teach singing, and for others it's more of an issue. So we're just going to quickly talk about some ways in, aren't we?
I mean, you create a great list here. Have a song on in the background. I mean, if you do that, you'll be amazed at how quickly people catch songs as well. You know, a little bit of listening every day.
Absolutely.
And focus people's attention. Put some questions about the words on the board.
Put a song into your head now.
Any song. Yeah.
How did it get there?
I don't know.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you catch them, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about having them on in the background every day. By the time you then actually come to teach them, they're really so familiar. You know, all of the songs they come in that they listen to on the radio and in the charts, they're getting into their head through this kind of repeating listening and you know, all of that. So it's a really, really good strategy for familiarity before you start.
Singing along with a recording is a great way. I mean, it's how most popular musicians learn. You know, if you can imitate, you're really listening carefully and kind of developing your ear. And that's why we've got performance tracks on our site as well.
And I think something to bear in mind there, though, is about the repertoire that you choose that they're singing along with, and whether that's appropriate for the range, the pitch range of the voice. So, you know, but there's a lot of software out there freely available that you can just change keys of things if you find out it's kind of wrong.
Yeah, because often what happens is obviously children have much higher voices than adults.
Yes.
So if they're singing along with adults all the time, what can happen is that they sing the same shape of the tune, but actually at a different pitch. It's generally higher. So the music's doing this and the child's voice is doing this.
And often with our trainee teachers, I'll say to them, find the note in your voice, go up 3 notes, start from there, and you're pretty much where they may be. You know, Ally Daubney rule of thumb, up about 3. You know, for the younger children in particular, it kind of you can really hear it.
Teach a small group first. I love this. I saw this amazing little primary school, Middleton and Teesdale. It's a tiny school on the in Durham, where the Dales are, and they wanted to get all the staff leading singing, and this amazing teacher had this brainwave. Okay, actually, the way in is I'm going to have a little group of singing leaders that meet on a Thursday lunchtime. On Friday afternoon, there's going to be 15 minutes of singing, and this group of pupils on the Thursday, they're going to pick a warm up and a couple of songs. Then they're going to go in every classroom using the display and get them to sing along to this song. And actually, within about 6 weeks, all the teachers wanted to have a go at picking the songs and leading the singing.
And that's really great. And you can also, if you don't have that opportunity to do it with other teachers, you can teach a small group of children who might want to stay back in playtime, you know, the first play of the day. And if you only want to teach it to a small group because you don't have the confidence yet to teach it to the whole class, do it with them. And then, you know, everybody feels quite special about it, and you and them can join in together. It's about that thing about being an inclusive musical community, that you are modelling the singing, but you're doing it in a way in which you feel comfortable.
Yeah, completely. Continue singing through until learned. So that's generally breaking it down and chunking it in some way and teaching it in whichever method you choose. And the listening first, I think, is really important. I think it helps so much to hear a sense of the whole. And if you can focus the listening with questions as well. So, okay, what are the words telling us? You know, what happens in the chorus? What happened in the story? And it really focuses children's
attention. And it really
attention.
helps them to convey whatever the song is about, actually, because it's not just about singing the words and getting the shape and the melody and all of those kinds of things right. Definitely on communication too. So we're thinking about what is it that we do to develop the quality of singing. So not just singing through, but you know, putting your musical ear on and going, oh, when we get to that bit, that's the little bit that needs improving. So we've got some ideas here.
I think the first thing that's probably important to say is that what we're talking about is starting where a person is and helping them get better.
Yes.
There isn't like a benchmark of quality. You know, we want to talk about progress, don't we? So, I mean, in a primary school setting, some of the things that you might want to think about is, do singers sit, stand up straight and open their mouths? Now, what usually happens in a primary school? Sit on the floor. All right, you might have your legs crossed. You might still be sitting straight, legs crossed, but you're doing this, looking up at a whiteboard, generally higher up. So it's not great posture. So it's thinking about the posture. So, if at all possible, if you can stand up, it's much, much better. Sitting on chairs as well, on the ends of your seats. If you've got chairs, can you make out the words? Are the singers communicating the songs to the listeners? Do they know what they're singing about? The number of times I hear people singing and actually it's clear that they don't know what they're saying. Can they control the dynamics and the expression? What's the tone like? Can we do some more work like the quacking and the breathing, that we looked at? All those warm-ups will help develop the quality of the singing because they're about the technical aspect of singing. And then there's things to do about accuracy. Is the tune correct? Is the rhythm correct? And that's where your ears as the teacher, don't sing along with the pupils, listen and feedback. Help them understand. Get the kids to come to the front and say, is this how it should sound?
Use audio recording as well. That's another thing. Play it back to them because when they're in the moment, it feels very, very different to what it does afterwards. So this is a really crucial thing. Getting singing, yes, great, but actually then how do you build the quality?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things then is not just singing all the way through, but taking out the little bits that you go, oh, that's the bit that needs working on. So we've got some tips here for making progress.
This is my favourite. Make it the norm. Everybody sings every day. Okay, so just normalise singing. Get rid of all the baggage. Yeah, singing's a great thing to do in schools. Full stop.
Absolutely.
Learn a range of effective vocal warm-ups. If you sign up for Free as a Friend, you can kind of watch your videos and learn how to do that. Song choice is key. So we've talked a little bit about making sure it's appropriate, not just lyrically, but vocally for the age of the pupil. The song should fit the voice, not the other way around. Yeah, so we spend a lot of time thinking about the key.
Yes.
So think about the age of the pupils, the experience they have, the range, the key, the difficulty of the song. Learn how to teach a song effectively. In that, we've got so much advice about how to do that. Maybe we should have another webinar just on teaching songs. Avoid singing with pupils. Instead, listen and give feedback.
Yep.
Work on the storytelling. So pupils are really, really inspired by the drama and the story.
Absolutely.
So if you start there, they're just with you.
And the movement comes with that too, because one of my master students a few years ago, Sue Bint, did a project where she looked at the constructs that children said about singing. What is it that makes a great singer? And the movement was something that they quite often picked out, and how they looked and the communication. So actually, it was really, really good. The diversity of the things she was talking about.
Completely.
What we've got here, you may have seen this before, is something, again, it's on the ISM website. It's some work I did with Professor Martin Faultley at Birmingham City University, and it takes you through some ideas about musical development and some stages of development. And I suppose it brings me back to, why are we learning that song about the Romans? And it might just be because we're doing a topic on the Romans, but actually, okay, be creative about it. Think, what's the musical learning that I want to get from that song about the Romans today? Is it that I'm trying to help them to develop their articulation? Is it about communication? There are lots of musical reasons that you can also be using songs. So all of this material, and this is not just about singing, obviously it's about playing, improvising, composing, listening, the whole kind of musical curriculum. It's had a lot of downloads and it's freely available on the ISM website, and the links will be on the final slide for you.
So can I just do a shameless plug for Sing Up Day, which is tomorrow, and we have commissioned this absolutely fantastic song by Emily Barden called Be the Change. It's about being the change you want to be in the world. It's kind of a call to action to young people to speak up and make a difference. So have we got time to show the video?
We'll show a little bit, shall we?
Show that.
Get your questions ready while we're doing this, because we're rolling towards the end of our webinar, and if you've got any questions we could answer them.
You can download this free.
There'll always be a reason why. It seems too difficult to even try. The world is changing every day. How can we make sure that we have our say?
Leave it up to the end of the chorus.
Yep, why not? I like the key change best. We're not going to get to that, are we?
We can always play it out at the end.
We need to treasure it to know its worth. Let's be the ones who really care. Let's make the world a place that's kind and fair.
Love the space and
Make a difference. Say it clearly. I'm gonna be the change. change, change. Be the one who stands up proudly, whose voice is always strong. Send your message out so loudly, make things right when they are wrong. Wrap your arms around the world and be the change, change.
Actually, while you're finishing off that,
change, change.
should we pause it there?
Yes. Go listen though.
Do go and listen to it and download it. So the beauty of this song is it works amazingly in unison. So there's a unison version for primary schools. If you're a primary school and you've got amazing harmony singers and they're experienced, you can also do it in harmony as well. So there's two versions, unison and harmony.
And there you go. There's all your resources for
tomorrow. Go to www.singup.org, which is if you want to sign up as a friend, and /SingUpDay to download the song. And then there's also the Sing Up Day resources. There's an assembly pack, there's teacher notes, there's all kinds of things.
Okay, quick plug, shameless plug, while we're on shameless plugs. Discount code is UK 18 author, not 17.
This is a fantastic book, by the way.
Thank you very much, I'll pay you later. Yeah, teaching primary music is what the toolkit was drawn from, so thank you to Sage for letting me use some of the materials. Well, what next? The Sing Up Day tomorrow, obviously, and then we've got this next webinar, the third webinar, which will be on the composing things. That will be sometime in the summer term. We'll put the date up and give you plenty of time in advance to let you know. If you're interested in any practical workshops relating to Primary Music Toolkit, then contact John at the ISM and he can talk you through those. All the materials from today are here, the Primary Toolkit, the web address for you, the curriculum guide that I showed you with that big complex diagram that isn't complex at all when you see it much bigger. And of course, sign up, Sing Up as a friend, and thank you to Shelley. Now, hopefully, are there any questions from today? This is what loving the webinar, enjoying Oleo and singing along. Thank you very much, Charlotte. Thank you, it was very enjoyable and informative. How are we doing for time, Shelley?
It's like about 3 minutes to 5.
So we've got 3 minutes to take any questions that anybody might have, following on from today. But of course, you can always contact us both by email as well. We'd certainly be happy to answer any questions. But there's been a lot of people who have joined us today, which we're very happy about. Well, we've bamboozled them.
Yeah, no questions. Maybe we've been so thorough.
Absolutely, yeah. So what's going on tomorrow for Sing Up Day then?
Well, there's all kinds of things. So, we have a question. Some words about musical curriculum.
Oh, music for curriculum. Some words about music for curriculum.
Some words about music for curriculum. Oh, so I think that question is about what kinds of songs perhaps might you use in the music curriculum.
Right.
Is that correct, Mario? I'm hoping so. So I think that what you have to do is look at what your there's different ways of looking.
What's the musical thing that you want?
I think there's different ways of looking at this. Yeah, understanding what you want to achieve from a song, and then looking for songs that are really clear examples of that. So
no curriculum song from your web.
No curriculum. The curriculum song from our website.
The curriculum song. Do you know the curriculum song?
And
here it is.
Top
in
10.
The
Top 10. Oh yes. Well, we do have a set of top 10 curriculum songs. If that's what you're looking for different subject areas. So if you're looking for something for English. So there's a whole set of the top 10.
So this is about cross-curricular learning. Now, if you go to the toolkit, I think it's the last part of the toolkit, talks about cross-curricular learning and how it can be organised in 6 different ways and where musical learning might fit into that. So Mario, that's something for you to kind of maybe go and have a look at. Or if you can't find it, drop me an email.
There's also a great article that you wrote for us about the Barnes.
And that's what this is based on. Yeah. And I think that's also linked in. So we've got one here from Catherine. Run a small lunchtime choir with very loyal members who still can't pitch match. It's very limiting what we can achieve.
Okay, so small from up to 10 singers. How can best help a child who can't pitch match and keep the other singers happy? So I would every session have a little warm up that involves pitch matching.
Definitely.
But what I would do is turn it on its head and get the pupils to lead and to start where their voice is. So they might go. Hello, and everybody goes hello, hello, hello. So it keeps changing.
Yep.
Because if you start where you are, it might be that you're a bit low or you're a bit high, but find where that person's range is, and see if you can some of the time make sure that the song is in that comfortable part of their range.
And also then, of course, they are part of the group, and everybody's equal in that group, so everybody has their go at at having a go at something.
Richard Frostick has this amazing warm-up that he says always works, and it's about passing a note. And so basically you take a note out of your mouth, and then you put it in your mouth. And it really makes you focus very, very hard on what that note is and matching that sound.
Yeah.
So trying to build it into the warm-up, obviously it's difficult because you don't want to isolate a person, do you? And make them feel
exactly.
uncomfortable.
And so I think if you do it the way that you're talking about, then everybody has an equal voice in there. I think that's probably all we have time for today. So thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget the webinar will be up online afterwards. And if there's anything else you want to know, then obviously drop one of us an email, and hopefully we'll see you in the summer term for the third part of the primary toolkit webinars. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.